A lot of the major altcoins are down over 10% today. Is this just a normal pullback in the wider bull market? Or are we due a larger pullback? Or is the top already in? I'm going to answer all of those questions in this video and share some of my thoughts and opinions and how personally I navigate this cycle based on exactly what we've seen so far. So let's jump straight into it. We're going to start, of course, with Bitcoin. Now, mainly I trade altcoins and meme coins. However, I always watch Bitcoin price. Why? It's a signal. It's a signal as to the health and strength of the wider crypto market. And to be honest, Bitcoin's actually outperformed a lot of other crypto coins this cycle so far. But the main reason for that is a lot of coins this cycle, they're older coins. They're just not going to make it. Now, this is how I view the entire move. First of all, we're going to zoom out. Let's zoom out to a 2-day first. I think we're tracking out quite a nice-ish looking impulse. It's not the cleanest in the world ever, but I think very likely from the lows, we're tracing out a 5-wave move. A 1, 2, 3, and recently we had that complex correction for a 4, which kind of fits in terms of how long it was. It was like 6 months of sideways chopping. People don't know what was going on. People were losing their minds when it came to cryptocurrency, and then we finally shot off. And then we saw the low around 50,000 level, and then we shot off, and then we hit a high of 108. Now, what's going on here? Is the top in? What are the potential options here? Now, I'll be really honest with you. These are if you just look at market structure, these are the potential options. Now, the first option is this is the kind of final move and it's topping. It's either topped already or it's just going to do a little bit of sideways, one more push up into maybe February, and then it's topped. And that's one option. Now, there's a big issue with this because then we're correcting the entire move from November all the way up to January 2025. And this is basically Elliott wave. And what that means is, if we take fib levels from here, if we're correcting the entire move, we have to have some massive kind of multi-month, maybe even into year correction. So in terms of the bull market cycle, that could be it. I think this is less likely, but I'm sharing it because it's there on the table. And when I'm trading, I trade probabilities, and I like to know what all the pathways are, because then I know where the invalidations are. So if something happens in terms of price right now, I'm like, okay, it's much more likely now to be this scenario, and we're kind of done for now. And in this basic scenario, we're going to pull back probably over maybe a couple of years, something like that, who knows, and we go back into these previous all-time highs we saw from 2021, and that will be our support. That will be our kind of bear market low, and that's where we're tracking. Now, I don't like this option. I really hope it doesn't happen, but I'm just putting it out there. The other option is here, the fifth wave is going to be a much larger swing. So it's not just going to do one little small high. What's actually happening is this is the first impulse of the final move. So we still have two kind of impulses like that to go. So it's what we call an extended fifth wave. And I'm really hoping that will happen. And what that means is basically we're gonna get onto smaller time frame in just a minute, but we're gonna get a bit of pullback. Then we'll have some crazy run after Trump's inauguration. Probably not immediately. We'll probably get some fake outs, stuff like that. People panicking, people saying it's all over, and then we suddenly flip, and then we go vertical, and then we're gonna top out at a much more palatable level, like one that more people will be happy with, especially if you're in altcoins. If you're in altcoins, you need Bitcoin at kind of 150. So everybody gets their bags pumping and stuff, and then we can all exit, call it a day. Great bull market. Let's move on to the bear market now and look at other opportunities. So that's what I'm hoping will happen. And the short-term price action is going to tell us which one of those scenarios they are. But there's nothing bearish, obviously, about this move from the lows. It's all very much bullish. Now, what we saw last time is even after we get the all-time top, wherever it is, Bitcoin will have a massive dump, and then it will have either a lower high or a slightly higher high like we saw last time, but it's a corrective move. And that's all kind of part of Bitcoin's bear market. And it's that second move where we get this parabolic crazy rise in loads and loads of different coins. I think that's going to be AI and AI agents personally, and I think that's yet to happen. I think that's actually going to happen in 2025, so sometime this year, and I don't think that's happened yet. So I'm personally leaning this way. I still think there's more upside for Bitcoin, but even after Bitcoin has topped, it's going to have a pullback, and then it's going to do a weaker run up, and it's on that weaker run up that everything else goes kind of ballistic, and that's a really good opportunity with altcoins. Let's go into a smaller time frame now. So we're going to go into a 4-hourly. Quick look at this. You can see clearly 5th of August there, around the lows. We're tracing out what looks like could be a completed 5-wave move. Now it's still, to me, it's still looking a little bit short. So we might still get a little swing up, fake out, and then we have a larger pullback. But that's how it's looking. Now, if it's happening right now and we're doing the pullback right now, that's fair enough. And obviously in any market, you have healthy pullbacks. So far, the pullbacks in no man's land here, we've not reached any of the important fib levels. So one would be 85K. If it's a much deeper pullback, then obviously you can get all the way down to 79K. I wouldn't want it to mess about anywhere lower than that, really, because if we're still maintaining bullish structure, you would expect 85 to be the line in the sand. 79, absolute last resort. Really, we should be holding above. Anyway, if we hold above, then we run again. Happy days. And if that's playing out, then probably over the next couple of weeks, we're going to get some sliding, and then there's going to be a bullish catalyst. It might not be the inauguration, which I believe is on the 20th of January. It might be just after or something like that. Who knows? And on the smaller time frame, it was actually already clear we were in a pullback. And the main reason for that is from the high on the 17th of December, we traced out an impulsive move. Now, impulsive moves always have follow through, and they usually have sideways corrections. And that's what we've traced it. The sideways correction. And that is kind of like an expanded flat correction. That's exactly what we've traced out there, I believe. And I think this marks the lower high. And I think we're going to retest these lows. And to be honest, on a lot of altcoins, it looks like that's clearly what's about to happen. Also, what you can see here is possibly a bit of a head and shoulders pattern as well as the classic chart pattern. Could be forming now as well. So that's something you have to worry about. So a lot of the impulsive movements are downwards. Cardano, this is ADA on a 4-hour time frame. Now, we had this impulsive run again from beginning of August, very much tracing light Bitcoin. And what have we done here? 3-wave correction here. This was possibly beginning to look like it could be something, the start of something, but then look what's happened here. The price action has gone into here. So that can't be a 1, 2, 3, 4. Very unlikely. Now, you could say it's just the beginning of the next leg up. Now, that's still possible, but then here's the important levels you have to watch out for. From the most recent swing low to swing high, you have to bounce now. Like it's gone through 382.58. 618 is the last line in the sand. It has to turn there, and it can't turn there and just do some corrective rubbish. It has to turn there and go fully impulsive, because technically, if that's to be a wave 3 and that's what's happening here, this will be the strongest move in terms of volume. So anywhere, like in cryptocurrency, in the next few days, if we turn and pivot and go absolutely crazy, and you're seeing altcoins up 20% on the day, then that's what's going on here. That's what's going on. Basically, that was the entire pullback. So this was the entire pullback, and we've already started our next leg up, which again, I think if you look at enough altcoins, it's looking less and less likely, but that's still on the table. Now, even if it's not, it doesn't matter. All that means is this is a 3-wave correction up, and we have to test those lows again. So Cardano is 75. All we do is we give this move here a partner leg here. That's all we're doing. So it's a larger 3-wave move down. We find support, and then we resume bull market. Many coins, by the way, we'll go through just now, are not bullish or impulsive. There are a lot of real rubbish altcoins. So just remember, when we do turn and run, pick the stronger coins. Don't pick the weaker coins, obviously. Next one, let's have a look at Solana. So let's have a look at Solana. I don't like Solana's chart, to be honest with you. It's real bugging me because I had a 1-2 there, then possibly a 3, but it's just a really messy, overlappy move, which I don't like. This part here should have been the strongest. This literally should have been God candles going straight up, and it didn't, which is worrying, because what it means for Solana is something slightly different. Every altcoin is going to be a little bit different. What it might mean here, and again, like I said, I'm just sharing my thoughts here, but just based on charts. I'm not talking about anything fundamental at all. I'm not talking about interest rates or anything right now. With this particular move, and with the fact that this pullback's getting very, very deep now, we're still in price territory where we were back in March. We haven't extended in price. There's no extension. So what if this is a 3, 3, and then we're either doing a 5 or another 3, a larger complex correction, which means we're actually going to take out the lows potentially in August. And the reason I'm saying that is if that was a 3, like if we had just done one more swing up to 300 or something, then you could say, fine, we just did a nice impulse move up. We haven't. Really annoying, because otherwise I would have just said, fine, we're just going to have a bit more of a pullback, get below 170 maybe, reset and run. Just don't like how the chart's looking at the moment. But again, just fair warning, just just me having a look at the charts and not really liking it. You can't really call it a nest. Like that's a 1-2 and a much larger 1-2. Again, extremely unlikely in terms of size differences. SUI, one of the best performers, a coin I've discussed a lot on this channel, and the reason is it's all impulsive, like really, really strong moves. So we're below 50 cents. We're up 5, like crazy. Like that's more than a 10x. That's what I'm saying. Strongest coins, and this is only in a period of a few months. And when everything else was pulling back, it was still making new highs. Obviously, it's likely due a pullback now, so very likely the whole impulse could be complete. Now, could the top be in? Here's my theory on that. So in this cycle so far, I believe we've had 3 major peaks, and I've discussed this before. And I think we're going to have one more major peak, one or kind of one and a mini one. So kind of one major phase again of this bull market, likely in 2025. It's really useful to think of things like this because at each peak, so let's say the first one was around early December 2023, so more than a year ago now. And then obviously you've got the March ones, you've got the August ones, and we might be working on one now, or you can call this the December one, December 5th, 6th, earlier for meme coins, a bit later for altcoins. At every single one, you had different coins do really well and actually form a top. For example, at the March ones, I think Fetch AI, so FET, I think it's topped. I think it's actually done, cooked. Whiff, for example, Dog Whiff Hat, I think similar time frame, it was done. And here you had a few early AI coins, which I think are done as well. And I think now SUI is having its run. It could be done in this particular phase. And I think in this new final phase, it's going to be different coins. And the actual stats back that up. This is FET. On this particular chart, it's a daily chart. You can see we actually started the entire move way 2 years ago, like all the way back in November, December 2022, when Bitcoin bottomed. And it looks like we're done. So we could have traced a whole 5-wave move. And the clues to that, there are a few. The first one is we went from $3.50 all the way back down to 70 cents, which is crazy if you're going to continue a move. And then the next thing, again, if you're completely brand new to technical analysis, you have no idea what I'm going on about. Maybe I don't even know what I'm talking about. But even you can have a look at this chart since the lows in August on Bitcoin and everything else. How does it look? How does that chart look to you after those highs we've seen? Does that chart, this area here, look like it's got any hope of running anywhere near all those all-time highs? Now, obviously, we get very technical and there's massive overlap and it obviously looks very choppy, very corrective. But even to the naked eye, I'm sure you can see that. I'm sure you can see the stronger moves seems to be downwards now. The overarching trend is downwards now. So this is cooked, in my opinion, back in March. So it's these coins you just stay away from. You just put a cross through it. Don't think that, oh, okay, so that's my minimum target is 3.5. So from here, that's at least 3x and stuff like that. Wrong way to think about it. Look for the next coin that's now cooking, not already cooked. Ethereum, in my opinion, the entire move up is corrective. The entire bull market for Ethereum is fake, non-existent. And remember, we've just seen SUI in a few months go up 10x and stuff like that. Ethereum is not going to do that. I think it's just going to crawl up. So if we get that final phase, it's going to get a pullback now. We get that final phase, it just crawls up again. Maybe it just breaks over all-time highs, and then it's done. But it will have its final push probably later, which is fine. Maybe we'll get other Ethereum-related stuff running. Obviously, you've got all of the Ethereum-based base meme coins. You've got NFT stuff like that. So maybe that still has to run because that ran late last time. Fair enough. So there's some returns to be made on Ethereum. But it's not enough if you really want to make multiples on your altcoin investments. Injective is a brilliant example of another coin very, very similar to FET. Very similar. From here, beautiful impulsive moves. That was the opportunity. The opportunity was from here to do your 40x, not now. Like that, to me, all of this looks horrible. Like I can't make anything bullish out of this. So I just going nowhere near it at all. So what should you be looking at potentially? Well, there were a few that really ran hard in December, and you have to leave other opinions and stuff to the side and just look at the charts. The charts are clear. Like XRP had a very strong run. Now, was that the end of the run and it's done? I don't think it would make sense. It didn't even break its all-time highs. Well, I mean, it was from all the way back in 2018. But with this potential setup now. I think it has more to pull back. Maybe it's going to challenge these $2 lows again before it runs. But this has potential to run. I can't ignore the chart. I'm just showing you this quickly. This is Link, which did an okay-ish run here. But when you tally it up with the run from the lows in June 2023, this makes a perfect 1.236 extension, which could be a perfect ABC. A typical A equals C extension is 1.236. So what that means is we're in a bear market that hasn't ended for Link since May 2021. It's carrying on. That's 3 waves done, and it's just going to head straight back down. And it's still ongoing. Now, yeah, it might chop around here for, whilst everything else is running. But yeah, that's what it could signal for some of these older coins. So I don't like these coins. I don't even like XRP. But I can't ignore on a risk reward, if it has a deep pullback now under $2, if you get in, maybe hit a 2x or something, yeah, the potential is there. But I think you have to look at the new narratives now, which is why you'll see on my channel, I talk a lot about AI agents and coins in relation to this. There's going to be a lot of crappy coins here. Millions of, well, not millions, but thousands of rubbish ones. But there's going to be a few, maybe 5 to 10, that are going to be incredible. And those are the ones I'm eyeing up and concentrating on for this final run. And be careful with AI as well. I've got a list here. These are old coins. They're not all AI, sorry, they're a bit mixed, but most of them small cap AIs. And these are ones that did well in March of 2024. But this is what I mean. Look at that. Remember when I was talking about the cycles, the kind of 4 cycles? These topped already. These are cooked, done completely. This movement is nothing. This is definitely not going to take it back to all-time highs. So AI is still going to be trending, I think, in 2025. But it's a new coins related to AI. Maybe 1 or 2 of the older ones as well, but generally newer ones, agent related, building different types of infrastructure. Some haven't even been launched yet. Those are the ones you need to be watching out for, in my opinion. By the way, when I'm trading cryptocurrencies, I like to use Mexi. Very easy to use. On their spot market, they have a very good selection of cryptocurrencies, especially lower market cap coins. For example, if you're looking at an AI coin that has much lower market cap, you usually can find them there. You don't always find them on exchanges like Binance and Coinbase. Also, their futures platform, very easy to use. And when you're trading, so for example, if I'm taking a leverage position long or short, it's easy for me to put stop losses, take profit targets. If you use my link in the description below, you'll also get a discount on Mexi fees as well. This is one called 01 Labs, DEAI, and you can see it's a newer launch, so it launched after, and obviously it ran and did a peak when a lot of the other altcoins did in 6th, 7th of December. These are the kind of newer ones that I would pay more attention to. Another one I'm watching, there's quite a few. I'll probably discuss them in another video because it'll take a while to go through them. I don't want to bore you here, but basically here's another one. So this is AIOZ, one that's been doing really good for me. And then this one, again, look, March high, had a massive pullback. But what is it doing since the pullback? Very, very strong moves. That could be a 1 and a 2, or it's just doing a larger correction for a 2. And then this got absolutely launched. Now, obviously, because it's tagged all-time highs, you could say, well, maybe it's topped here, but it's still pushing really hard near all-time highs. And if it starts consolidating around all-time highs, there's usually a sign that it's going to run again. And this is an older coin. This is an older coin from previous cycle, but looking a lot stronger. I'm going to show you another random one that's, had a little bit of a run. Loads of them have little bits of runs, but they're the ones you have to be careful with because they're the ones that can get you wrecked. This is Anchor. It's an older coin. Now, again, we've zoomed out daily very clearly. Where was the peak of this cycle for this coin? For this crappy coin, it was all the way back in March 2021. It hasn't done anything since then. This is all clearly overlapping corrective. It still threatens moves. And sometimes you wonder, look, has it bottomed and is it going to make some crazy move? But yeah, it's not doing that. It keeps hitting this resistance and failing. So again, it's very, very unlikely. But that's why it's a good idea sometimes to think in terms of these cycles. And what's really helped me this cycle is just focusing on newer stuff constantly. I want to know what's new. I don't care about what's old. Hate these old crypto coins. Don't want to go near them. And rotation. So just rotating. First of all, from sectors, and also sometimes in and out of the market regularly when it's clearly looking like it's going to take a bit of a dump. You wait, because I've mentioned it before in my videos. When we're in up mode, we only go up for literally a period of weeks, and the thing is, when we're up, everything gets a pump. So this is where people get confused, because every rubbishy coin goes on a little bit of run. So when SUI is doing 10x, this rubbish will do a 2x in the space of, a few weeks, just because everything's getting liquidity, everything's getting a bit of a pump. This cycle has been really frustrating for a lot of people, and I completely understand. It's just like we're jumping from narrative to narrative all the time, and the pumps seem to just not last very long. But look, this is how the cycle is going to be this time. Last time we did have different areas and sectors, but we generally had coins that just pumped throughout the entire 4 years, almost 4 years, like kind of 2.5, 3 years. Not going to get that this time, and it's not happened, and nothing's going to change anytime soon. So annoying as it is, you will need to rotate, and you will need to focus on the things that are going to run. And also another piece of advice, kind of trust your instincts. My instinct on a lot of altcoins when Trump was announced the winner was everything looked really suspect. And I was mentioning that on some of my videos, like this whole move on, most altcoins were like this. They were pulling these corrective moves. And what I obviously later realized is because for some of these coins, the top was already in March. This is just correction. This is the bear market for fetch, in my opinion, already has begun. And then we get this kind of fake little Trump pump. And now we are properly, I think, beginning to sell off with a lot of these coins. And we're going to get that challenge to the August lows. But that's only if they need to reset. If they don't, and they're done in terms of bear market, it doesn't matter where the price goes then. It's just going to mess about here, go down a bit, then go up a bit when everything else pumps go down a bit. But it's not going to do anything. It's just going to be sideways and down. Mostly. When I'm trading, what always has helped me stay in or stay out of the market at the right times is just learning market structure. And it's taken me many years to learn it. And first link in description, that's where I share a lot of this information. And when I'm looking for new trending coins, I use tools now. It's just easier that way. It's just too much noise everywhere. So you have to look at volume breakouts, RSI breakouts in the wider crypto market just to see what areas could be pumping right now and to try and get into those early. And then with altcoins now, all you're doing, like I said, I don't think we're done. I think we're going to get that final phase, crazy phase. That's not happened yet. Even if it's a lower high on Bitcoin, it's not happened yet. That's going to happen in 2025. And I think the areas are obvious already, but if it isn't to you, we're looking at AI or AI agents, anything AI related. There could be new stuff AI related that's not even invented yet. That could happen. And when we come back to, maybe when I come back to this video in a few months, I'll reference it because, yeah, it could be something brand new. And there's going to be meme coins, but it's the intersection between AI and meme rather than pure dog and cat meme coins, which I think are done personally. And then there's DeSci, which I think is, again, very overlappy, all of these kind of niches or narratives. But that's where the final parabolic, because in real life, this is what's trending right now. AI agents. If you look on Google Trends, it's not peaked. It's literally just been going up in a line like that. Up and up and up. And it's not had a crazy run up yet. When it has that crazy run up, pump and dump, AI agents are still going to be around. They're going to be part of our daily lives just now. But from a crypto point of view and all the scam coins and tokens being launched, there's going to be a top in play. And that's going to be probably mid 2025 somewhere. Could be summer, could be earlier, could be around May time. Who knows? I don't know. Don't need to know. Doesn't matter. I think right now, wait for the pullback to play out and then wait for the next leg higher. Focus on the strongest only, like SUI was just now. Focus on the strong stuff only. Leave everything else. Stay away from old coins. And I think you'll be in a much better position. And then don't forget to sell. You must sell. Take profits and settle in for the bear market. I personally don't think this cycle is any different from the others, even though people are saying, Bitcoin's all, everybody's using it now and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. The problem isn't Bitcoin. The problem is in the whole crypto niche, there are literally 99% of complete crap coins that do nothing and have no utility. That's the problem. So crypto is never going to be everything. Is it maybe only a select couple of coins or bits of infrastructure? But most of it, no. Most of it is vaporware. Let's be honest here. So sorry for rambling, but I hope you found it useful. Thanks for listening.